So hey guys, welcome once again to my channel. It's conceptual. So today, this is the third part of the video for the antiretroviral drugs or the anti-HIV drugs. Okay. So today we're gonna study the NNRTIs. That is the full form. That is non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. The NRTIs we have already covered in the last video. So you can check out my playlist on the antimicrobial pharmacology. You can find it out there. So now let us straight away begin. What are the NNRTIs? And let's just further recall the all the basics so we can continue this. Okay, so the that is a part of the class that is reverse transcriptase inhibitors, that are the non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. They are uh, they are the subclass for the reverse transcriptase inhibitors. Okay, so reverse transcriptase inhibitors are used in the highly active antiretroviral therapy, that is the heart, and used in the combination of medication used in treatment of AIDS. And so furtherly, we all know that AIDS is caused by the RNA retrovirus, that is human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, that is a retrovirus. And why it is the retrovirus? Because it uses the reverse transcriptase, okay, and transcribes pro-viral DNA from the RNA. Okay, so HIV is single-stranded positive sense enveloped RNA virus that mainly attaches to the cells that have the CD4 receptor cells, okay, that are the dendritic cells, CD4 T helper cells, and the macrophages. Okay, and this CD4 receptor helps to communicate within the other immune cells. Guys, I'm studying out this faster because I have already covered it in detail in the previous video of the NRTIs. Okay, so now moving on, that is once the virus comes and enters and attaches to the GPT 120 and the co-receptor, it attaches to the cell and gets the control over the host cells. Okay, it releases the nucleocapsid that contains the single-stranded RNA reverse transcriptase and integrase. So single-stranded RNA is here released, and via the reverse transcriptase enzyme, this reverse transcriptase transcribes complementary double-stranded pro-viral DNA, and next it is ready to be integrated into the host's DNA. And the proviral DNA is attached to the host DNA via the enzyme integrase. So integrase helps the proviral DNA to get into the host DNA and get attached to it. Okay, so now once the infection is occurring, immune cells get activated, transcribing and translating the protein for immune response. But instead of this protein translation, it translates the proviral DNA or the infected HIV DNA and makes the copy of it. Okay, so the transcribing and translating of new HIV viruses occurs and infect more cells, and that will obviously lead to the immunodeficiency, leading to the destroying or the immunity to capable T cells. Okay, and will lead to the immunodeficiency that will cause increase in the risk of infections and tumors. And this syndrome is known as the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, or also known as AIDS. So isn't that so sneaky? And it is a life threatening, or it can be a fatal syndrome. Okay, so now there are two distinct types of HIV that are different in protein and enzyme, that is HIV-1 and HIV-2. So HIV-1 is mainly outspread throughout the world, but HIV-2 is endemic to the some parts of Africa and some part of the southern Asia. Okay, such as like India, China, and Indonesia, and some countries of Africa. Okay, so now the NNRTIs are the non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors are allosteric inhibitors of the reverse transcriptase. Okay, so first in NRTI we saw that they were used to they were phosphorylated and then used as a nucleotide analog. But here these are the allosteric. So the allosteric means that once they bind to the site, they get attached and change the formation, or the you can say the shape of the enzyme, and hence inhibiting its function. Okay, so basically these are the NNRTIs, the red block. Okay, and once it gets attached to it, it opens up or it changes the formation of the binding site, and once the binding site is changed, the enzyme cannot regulate its function, and the nucleosides cannot bind to the enzyme. It results in nucleosides that cannot bind the enzyme, and so new proviral DNA is not transcribed, and once the proviral DNA is not transcribed, it stops the new viruses from being created. Okay, so these are the allosteric inhibitors. Okay, I'll once again explain that they will bind to the allosteric site, and they will change the the activated site, and once activated site is changed, the nucleoside cannot bind and the DNA cannot be transcribed, and hence the new virus being formed will be stopped. Okay, NNRTIs have no effect on the completed proviral DNA. Okay, so we can say that from this statement that the NNRTIs, once the proviral DNA is formed, they cannot be come back, or we cannot do it again the process, or we can reverse the process. Once it occurred, we cannot, but the cells which are not affected, okay, so we can stop that process. Okay, so it is only it only slows down the progression of the disease, so it is not a complete cure. It's just to slow down the progression of the disease. Okay, so cells already infected remain infected. Okay, so basically we have come to a conclusion that it can be only slow down the progression of the disease. It's not a complete cure. Okay, so now some of the example are efavirenz, okay, etravirine, the delavirdine, and nivarapine. Okay, so they are rarely used alone, and HIV develops resistant by the point mutation. So once the point mutations occur, the allosteric site can be changed, and hence this NNRTIs are then being ineffected. So they are not used alone. They are a part of highly active retroviral therapy, that is HART, and they are given with the NRTIs, or also known as the nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors, such like zidovudine and lamivudine. And if HIV becomes resistant to NNRTIs, it can be still killed by the NRTIs. So they are rarely used alone, and mainly they are given with the nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. Okay, so basically efavirenz has the longest half-life and taken once in a day. Okay, and etravirine and delavirdine, they are contraindicated during pregnancy and can cause congenital malformation. So these two drugs are not given during the pregnancy. Okay, but nivarapine is used during the pregnancy to prevent the vertical transmission. Okay, so prevent vertical transmission means it can protect the fetus, the growing. If the mother is infected and it gets the medication, then it will also affect the baby, and the baby can be protected from the HIV virus because it can easily cross the placenta. So once it easily crosses the placenta, the medication goes to the baby, and the baby gets protected from the HIV. Okay, so now NNRTIs have some side effects too, that is they cause hypersensitive reactions such as skin rash, and nevirapine can cause toxic epidermal necrolysis and Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Okay, and it can also cause damage to the liver, increasing the liver transaminases, rarely hepatitis, and in some cases can cause severe hepatitis with the nevirapine. The efavirenz affects the CNS, that is causing dizziness, hallucination, vivid dreams, and depression, that is it can cause CNS toxicity. The NNRTIs are metabolized by the cytochrome P450. Okay, so they have drug interactions, especially the delavirdine, and medications that inhibit this enzyme, that examples are cimetidine and macrolides. They increase the NNRTI concentration in the plasma, and medication that induce the CYP450 enzymes or cytochrome P450 enzyme, they decrease the NNRTI concentration, that is rifampin. So now let us make a fun mnemonic, okay, to remember all that. So here's the delivery girl, that is representing the delavirdine. Okay, and she is effortlessly caring for representing the efavirenz, and for the side effects she is causing hallucination and daydreams for the CNS toxicity. Okay, and on one side the and these two drugs are contraindicated in pregnancy, and on the other side we have the drug that is nevarapine and the antiretroviral. They are safe in pregnancy. Okay, luggage there was for the traveral is represented by the atavarine, and the Christmas tree that is representing the nevarapine. Okay, some side effects are the the Steve and John. There are the two men representing the Steven Johnson syndrome, and the zombie representing the toxic epidermal necrosis. Okay, and some common side effects are in between, that is liver toxicity and a rash representing the red color rash on the stone liver, and a cell that is enzyme that is the cytochrome P450 also interacts in the both of the drugs. And here's a baby representing that is it's safe for pregnancy. So I'll just once upon repeat. So this side of drug are contraindicated in pregnancy, and this side of drugs are safe in pregnancy. The efavirenz and liveridine can cause liver toxicity, rash, and the efavirenz mainly causes the CNS toxicity, that is daydreams, hallucination, dizziness, etc. Okay, nevarapine causes Steven Johnson syndrome and toxic epidermal necrolysis too. Okay, but antiretroviral and nevarapine are the safe in pregnancy. So here's a quick recap. Okay, so NNRTIs are allosteric inhibitors of the HIV transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase prevent multiplications of the virus, and the teratogenic drugs are the efavirenz and delavirdine. Non-teratogenic are nevarapine and antiretroviral. Metabolized by cytochrome P450 that causes hepatotoxic and rashes. Used with the other antiretroviral medication in the highly effective antiretroviral therapy, that is heart therapy, and slows down the progressions of the disease. Okay. Here's the mind map. There's the NNRT, the efavirenz and the delavirdine. Okay, and CNS toxicity, liver toxicity, rash, Steven Johnson syndrome, the epidermal necrolysis, the nevarapine, and the antiretroviral. Okay, so they are safe in pregnancy. Okay, so I hope आपको ये पूरा guys video समझ में होगा. And here is the answer for all the माइंड मैप. ओके, सो आई होप आपको ये पूरा गाइस वीडियो समझ में होगा. अगर कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो प्लीज़ राइट डाउन इन द कमेंट सेक्शन बिलो, एंड प्लीज़ डू ऑल्सो सब्सक्राइब टू माई टेलीग्राम चैनल. इट हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ स्टफ रिलेटेड टू सेकेंड ईयर MBBS. एंड गाइस एनी सजेशंस के अगर आपको चाहिए कि आई शुड इम्प्रूव माई क्वालिटी ऑफ वीडियो और some things, then please do comment below, and please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, because it gives me a lot more motivation every time you do so. So until then, stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.